Hello, everybody. My name is Bigfoot. Today we're going to be doing another stream. We're going to be doing a stream about my new project. We're going to outline the new project, draw a bit of a funny looking sketch, and maybe start coding. Maybe. Probably not. The outlining the project and drawing a sketch is going to take way too long, if you ask me. Not that great at that, but let's go through the whole process as they are supposed to go. Anyone in the chat, say hello, please. It would be nice. It will be nice knowing that I'm not alone. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, I guess no, no one. I'm gonna wait a few minutes. Oh, hello, our podcast. Hey, at least I'm not alone. So for a while now, I have been trying to create something that is, shall we say, remote coding, stuff like that. And I think this time I have a proper way of doing it. I think, or at least more proper than before. It's the second iteration of it, or third, really. Now let's create a project out of that, a proper project. So I'm going to go through the whole outline, and if you have any comments, please let me know in the chat. So let's begin, shall we? OBS, where is OBS? As you can see, this is a professional stream, and click. There it is. And before we actually begin, let's all go to the bottom below the editor and click that like button, that thumbs up that goes like this. Click that button and give me a thumbs up, like, however you want to call it. It is highly appreciated. And if you haven't said anything, let me know in the chat there. Ooh, what are you talking at the workshop? If it's not a secret. So let's talk about the stack first. What kind of stack we will be using? It will be running on top of Kubernetes. So we want it to be actually usable. Nice. Nice that it's sold out. Congrats, really. So if we're using Kubernetes, we're going to be using containers. And for our local environment, only for a local only environment. So that's for testing, dash testing. We have Docker Compose. but that won't be usable at the end for testing, just for start, because we'll have to integrate with Kubernetes at one point or another. And we might make it work with Docker Compose at one point, but that's kind of hard. And congrats, that's quite a bit of attendance. I would be nervous as well, especially since I don't have anything to teach. But I am proud to say that I'll be sending in my first uh, proposal for a conference talk later this month. I am I'm already shaking without even writing anything. So yeah, wait for more information on that soon. Now, what languages are we gonna be using? That's important part. Languages are important apparently in writing software. So of course it's me. So C Sharp is on that list. And because we're using Kubernetes, it's gonna be also Go on the list, as it's supposedly easier to deal with Kubernetes with Go than with C Sharp, since Go was written for since Kubernetes was written for Go. So you really shouldn't target just one language when you're building a project. If you're doing that, you're probably trying to have problems, because, at least in my opinion, right tool, right job. Sorry for that. You cannot just go, I'm gonna build everything with C Sharp. It's gonna be a perfect language. It is not. Like Go isn't, like C isn't, like Rust isn't, like Python isn't. So C Sharp isn't, even though it's my favorite. And at that point, we're probably gonna be using Python as well. I don't know yet what, but I bet Python will come in helpful. Yes. At the end of the day, that's why Python exists. When you have multiple languages and you want to combine them together into one program, Python does that the best. And yeah, that's great thing about Python is basically a glue language. That's what it should be used for, nothing else, if you ask me. As you probably realized, I'm a highly opinionated person. And because we're doing web stuff, JavaScript will rear its ugly head at one point or another. Why? Who who thought of that JavaScript is a good language? I don't know. It should have stayed in its own corner of misery and that would be it. But it was used for DOM, and yay! DOM is the environment, is the document object. Let me Google that. DOM JavaScript. Uh, do, document object model. Yay. Document object model. Now, let me define the stack. Do we need to define anything on the stack? Oh yeah. Storage. Well, that's part of Kubernetes, really. We can go on that later on. Now let's talk about, yeah, Dami the tricky beast. Let's talk about what kind of components we need, because we're gonna need components. So, what components do we need? We need a API server, central management server, which those two can be combined. Third one is also quite important, is cleanup server. We're gonna try and make it somewhat into microservices pattern, because I am not, I didn't hurt myself enough with that stack. I'm gonna try and go even harder and make it microservicey. Yes, I am that. I'm that insane. Now, next one is build server. By what I mean build server, I mean software that will take calls from API or ask API, do I have any containers to build, and build them, because we're going to be building containers. Monolithic applications can be a huge problem, yes, especially properly scaling them, which shouldn't be a problem in this case, but they're also quite nice to build because everything is there. But you need to know when you should take the monolith and break stuff out of it. But it's also, but on the other hand, for someone who is alone making stuff, microservices can be a interesting pattern, because each piece can be built separately, works fairly separately, so it's easier to have something of a, I'll call this, separation between different components, and you can use the right language for the right job, right tool for the right job. Again, back to my idea of right tool, right job. That's exactly what microservices do the best. Allow you to use the right tool for right job. Allow you to scale the specific part independently, and each part isn't in any way, including performance, depending on anything else. So let's say build server is busy a lot. That doesn't mean API server will have any effect of it, because it can be on a completely separate machine doing completely separate things. Something you wouldn't see in monolith, in a pure monolith. Now, of course, you're gonna need databases. And why I say databases, not database, I am of opinion that even a file system, when used as a to store documents, is a database. It's a document database, like Mongo, like AVS Document DB, whatever. It's a database at that point. So whether you have a document DB implemented in a file system or through a document DB database engine, it really doesn't matter. It's a database. And again, I'm a highly opinionated person, so yeah, I have my opinions. And I've been told I'm highly opinionated, so yeah. Now, of course, you're gonna need some sort of database to store everything, store data, so I don't know. And one reason we have to have databases, because we have microservices. Yay! So my database of choice for most of the stuff is, of course, SQL based. Whose isn't? I know a lot of people go for NoSQL stuff like MongoDB, like some sort of key value pair store, just so I don't have to do SQL. I don't do SQL like most people. I don't care about relations. Right tool, right job again. SQL is fast and does its job great. You don't need to use relations all the time like some people do. It's same with object-oriented programming. I don't use objects. I don't use instantiated objects all that often only when it makes sense. That's the part. It needs to make sense. And I know people have been saying you have so many opinions and so many ways you do things differently. You should make a book about that. But no, not worth a book. I'm probably wrong. There are a lot of more smarter people who say how it should be done. I just do it my way because I'm I. And when it's my stuff, it's gonna be done my way. And sorry, take what you will from this. So, Postgres goes here. Now, we're probably sooner or later gonna be storing some sort of documents, whether it be configuration files, templates, yada yada yada. They're probably gonna be either some sort of, I don't know what to say. They're probably gonna be some sort of files. So they're gonna be like Docker files that will require some sort of S3-like storage, maybe Minio or something like that. But we're also gonna be storing some sort of JSON documents, as for example templates or specific information about specific template or something like that. So we're probably gonna want to use MongoDB or some other type of NoSQL document database, MongoDB or alternative. Now this takes care of databases. Do we have other components we need? Of course, frontend UI. By frontend UI, here I mean web UI, of course. Which will be big and written in C Sharp because it's me. And I'm gonna try with the whole thing in C Sharp, front and back end. Back end is over there at the API server mostly, but some of it needs to be there. We're gonna be using Blazor. Probably Blazor server, not Blazor WebAssembly, but yeah. Now, another thing is cron jobs. So, for example, we want to do what is called? We want to rebuild stuff, or we want to do some stuff periodically. Cron jobs should do the stuff. So we need to write specific small jobs that will do cron-like behavior. So for that, we can use Kubernetes, native cron jobs, blah, 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 other stuff that are in there. Like we can even do a web API on an API server-based endpoints that run a server, but we probably won't because we want to use the, what is it called? Cron jobs for, we want to use some sort of scalable technologies. So we want to use some like Kubernetes native cron jobs or some sort of timers of some sort, something like that. Now, I think there's stuff missing, but I can't remember or I can't think of anything. If you have any ideas, any questions, please let me know in the comment section, in the chat right there. And while we do that, I'm gonna take a drink. So you will have a bit of luck and not see my face for a bit. And now to compensate, just my face. And now back to the VS Code. Now, I think that's it for now. If you have any questions, let me know. And if there is anyone new in the chat, say hi. Don't be afraid. I can't bite over the internet. Okay. Now we have that. Let's try and draw a diagram of it all, a sketch of some sort. For that, we're gonna use Krita, I think. Let's see if it works. Ah, white. It's too white, but we'll have to do. So first, we're gonna do a big square. It's a, Kubernetes cluster. Where are letters here? Where are here letters? Cluster. Ah, cluster. Now, the data comes in here. And meets some sort of load balancer or ingress controller. Let's make a square first. Like this. It's right on the border. It hits some sort of LB ingress. Load balancer or ingress controller will tell where to go. Huh. Didn't really think of using Inkscape. So maybe for next diagram. Now we have ingress controller. So from ingress controller or load balancer, whatever you want to use it, we could even write our own ingress system. Even though ingress controller in Kubernetes is great, I just don't know how to write shit for it. That has always escaped me. I happen to write one configuration correctly. Everything else falls over. Don't ask me why. I'm just useless at writing that specific thing. We're gonna try again during the streams soon. How soon? I don't know. Now, from here, so failure guaranteed. From here, we're gonna have a box. This will be environments. This is where you're gonna be working in. This is where your or more probably just mine VS codes will live or our development environments will live. Doesn't matter if it's VS Code, because at the end of the day, do something different then. Like a web server based thing or something like that. Or we could use some pretty nice technology from Microsoft in VS Code that allow you to remotely edit stuff in a Kubernetes cluster container. Now, for the next part, here we're gonna have two more things. One goes here, and one goes. Let's go. Just be nice and go here. And here we're going to have our API server. And here we have our UI. And guess what? What will then UI do? UI connects to here. Because, well, that's how it does things. Let's draw the arrows poorly. Then we have our build servers. Right, so that's here. And how they're gonna communicate with API server is unknown yet. So, what the hell is that? Some sort of color wheel. Let's draw a double-sided arrow. Because it could either be one of them could be server rook client or other way around. API server could talk to build servers or the other way around. Most likely gonna be build servers to API server and get the data back because that's how normal people do it. But I'm not normal apparently. So after that, what else do we need to draw? Let's see. Of course, let's just draw an. So then we have our cleanup execution. What is that? Again, that is the part that will allow us to clean up shit if it stays open for too long. So if an environment stays open for too long, it will execute a script that will tell the API server to shut down the container, or more specifically the pod. Yes, everything will talk to the server in one way or another. Oh, I remembered one thing we need here. Q server. So that would be a RabbitMQ or SQS or Azure Q storage or whatever the hell that's called. I'm supposed to be good at Azure. Actually, it might not be SQS, so I don't know. Yeah, it's SQS. I remember correctly. Simple Q service. I hate names by AWS. So now I have that. We go here. And we also have our little corner of world called databases of all sorts. And we're gonna pull our arrow, which we have to make ourselves, here. As our API server will talk to databases. Yay! So one thing that we won't talk about with the API server, but API server will talk with that. Good. Now the next one will be, of course, our queue system. And we're gonna go and going to just do this. That's how it's gonna work. What else do we have on the list? Cron jobs, the central management server. Let's see. Oh, great. Um, there. That's what we want. Central management server, which will have probably something like this kind of communication. And it is the point where lines get all blurry. We forgot our cron jobs, but you understand what I'm talking about, right? A giant mess of communication running in a Kubernetes cluster. That's exactly what it will be. Giant mess. I might just update my thing to be this thing, the thumbnail. What? Perfect name. Now, since we're already at this point, and it's just half an hour into our thing, let's make a proper let's make a project directory. And for that, a bit of my face. Yes, a bit of my face, because we need to find the right directory. Hey Marina, how are you today? Yes, actually no, I'm not using Mate this time. I am on GNOME since Nix doesn't like Mate in combination with my NVIDIA GPU. Oh yeah, we need to think about a good project name for this project. Huh. Nix, how do I like Nix? It's okay. Its packages are insanely weird to write. Its configuration is meh. The language it uses specifically. Why it can't use YAML or JSON? They must create their own language to configure just because, well, configuration. But the project for this project, project name for this project needs to be a code name. Hmm. Pro- I think it's too on the nose to use the name Project Insanity as a code name. Hmm. For now, it's dubbed Project Stream Project because I'm terrible at naming things. Yes, naming is hardest thing ever. So now I can transition back. Welcome to project stream project directory. So I'm gonna do this a bit of my way. So since we're doing how is this called a microservice architecture, we probably should use monorepo, but you know monorepos are pain. I'm gonna do a bit of a monorepo because, well, me, I like pain apparently. I didn't know that, but programming makes me do that. So how are we going to actually split this up? So first, we're going to split it by language. So mkdir, C sharp, and mkdir go. We know C sharp and go will be used. That's for sure. If we have anything else, for our directory here. Now if we go in Go directory, we know one thing that we'll have. It's the central server manager. That will be what will control different aspects of environments, where environment is there, whether it's not. So mkdir central management server. Maybe we'll do some other stuff, but we'll see. Now, that's it for Go for now. Now let's go to C sharp, my favorite language. And let's see if I have .NET installed. I don't. Next shall be .NET net .NET SDK. Please install the right thing. I mean .NET 6. It is .NET 6. Yay! That's what I use normally. Let's hope it works. Oh, it has 115 megs to download. Okay, yay, done. Okay, now .NET. And we get a nice, helpful help message. .NET new. We're gonna be creating an SLN. I knew that. With a name, project, dream project. And if we're gonna be renaming it, we're gonna be renaming later. We can see it here. Now, let's make a first directory. API server. .NET new web. We get our API server. Let's make another directory. Front end. And we're gonna do .NET new list. Because we don't know everything. It's dash dash list. And let's see which one we need to do. Blazor server. .NET new Blazor server. Then we're gonna do, and I'm gonna open up. And my face again, so I can open up without fearing to expose anything me. We have a file here. Okay, now that we're back, let's go mkdir jobs. And let's go into jobs and make a directory cleanup. It's one of the jobs. Let's build will be another job. Probably. We'll see. .NET new. And it will be a console application, ironically. We don't need any kind of server in there. Now, and that's all we right now need. Of course, we're gonna do a couple of commands still. .NET Selena add API server, API server.csproj, frontend csproj, and jobs build.csproj, and jobs cleanup.csproj. And now we can do .NET build. It will build everything in 2.29 seconds. With Go, I will be controlling Kubernetes. So this will run in Kubernetes cluster, and one of the things it will have to do, it will have to deploy certain things to Kubernetes and remove them when I say so, or when API server says that it will be a completely automatic part. The cleanup thing will be in control of that. So for that, we'll require some sort of control agent. That's what central management server will do. But because, well, C# kind of sucks when it comes to Kubernetes, controlling Kubernetes stuff, Go is much better at that. So Go it is. Use the right language for the right job. Or right tool, right job. That's my philosophy. If you guys who are watching have any other question, let me know. And if you have time, go to the page you're watching this stream on. Right below the window where you see my face, you're gonna see a button that says like, and click that. It has a nice thumbs up icon. I don't know if Go is the best for Kubernetes, but I think it's one of the main languages you write that is supposed to have like stuff that interacts with Kubernetes cluster itself. I know Kubernetes stuff is written in Go, so it should be pretty well compatible. I know the operator SDK, that's the thing that has operators, Kubernetes operators, is written in Go. So, and one of the three main ways to do operators, one of them is Go. The other ones aren't languages, Helm and Ansible. So Go probably is pretty good, I guess. I don't know. So at this point, I think we have done pretty well for our first stream titled Outlining a New Project. We have outlined the new project, made an ugly diagram. If you guys want to see it again, let's watch it. Let's see it together. If I can find Krita. Okay. Let's open the document. That's the ugly diagram. So I don't think today will be any good to just to go write code. but it's kind of bright. So let's close it down. But we could right make a first API request and and check if we have any kind of API. Yes, we do. Let's go. API server .NET run. It builds, and let's open up another shell, and let's just hit this with curl. Hello world. Let's update this to be a bit more stream friendly. Of course, we need to rebuild it. Good job, me. This is not this. I didn't do .NET Watch to have dynamic rebuilding. Oh, that's when my browser goes crazy. And now we can do curl hello stream. Let's go. Stream. This will do file changed, reload of changes successful, and hello stream with 3 exclamation marks. Yes. I did try Rider some months ago, or possibly a year or two ago, but I just didn't like it. I don't know why. Honestly, I like Visual Studio Code. It's completely okay with for me. It has some intelligence when I have stuff installed, like C# extension. Good job, me. That's a good thing to have, C# extension. Now let's try again. Of course, it cannot locate my because, well, nix. I'm gonna fix that over the weekend, or over next few days. Possibly we're gonna be in a Docker environment next time. Probably. That's how I build things nowadays. All in a Docker environment. But let's write another endpoint just because. Right now here, app.map get slash whelp, and let's give it something. String yar. And since this is a lambda, we're gonna do a return statement of hello str. And because I wanna do string interpolation, I need to hit the right key. And this. Now we're gonna do .NET run. And if we now do /whelp, it's gonna crash because I'm a genius. str. But it's nice. It tells me that was not provided as a query parameter. Let's try this again. /test and get hello test. There it goes. I don't know what else to do today, unless we actually start working on things, but I don't have any idea where to start. Yes, that's my problem. I don't know where to start. We could talk for a bit if you have any questions about this, C#, containers, Kubernetes, Rockets, please let me know in the chat section on YouTube. Would love to see your questions and answer them. I'm gonna wait. In the meantime, I'm gonna take another drink. And my face won't be seen again, and you'll be happy. And I do mean, if you have any questions, do write them in chat. I would really love to answer them. And her first question. Almost nothing is off topic at this time, so go ahead and ask anything. As I said, anything programming, this project, rockets, and many other stuff, including you can even ask me about HomeLab. I know that as well, a bit. So, first question was from Eric at the R Podcast, who asks, "What are my favorite VS Code extensions?" Well, I mostly only use the language extensions, but my favorite extensions are the remote extensions, where it be remote SSH, remote containers, remote VSL, or yeah. These extensions are really good because it allows me to go and open up environment in an environment in, let's say, a remote session through SSH or a remote container, and have Visual Studio Code that's run on my system, but have a window into that system, edit files on there, open a terminal there. It also includes a reverse proxy of sorts, so I can go into so it actually opens up a port on my end that tunnels into the server and hits that specific port. Yeah, this project will be highly leveraging remote extension, specifically remote containers in combination with Kubernetes extension, which will allow us to tunnel into the Kubernetes pod or a container inside a Kubernetes pod. It will allow us to tunnel into it, and just like on your you have Docker, you can do Docker containers on your local machine. You can do into a container completely somewhere else, in a data center or on the HomeLab server at home. Now, the second question, hopefully I answered this question sufficiently enough. If not, please ask a sub question. Now, the second question comes from Marina, who asks, "Did you try GitHub Actions?" Yes, I did. I'm a big supporter of CI/CD, of course, and I did try GitHub Actions, but well, I'm more fan of GitLab CI because it's a bit easier to go and do things. They're both the same when you go to the end of it, but just the learning curve and how you define things is a bit more, let's say, painful with GitHub Actions. Let's see if I can find one of my actions. If it's even public, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it is. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. This is a way to light screen. I don't know how to disable it without being logged in. Maybe here. Please have a button to disable light mode. Dark mode should be default for everything. Sorry. Okay, guess not. So you see, it's a simple workflow that builds a package. Simple workflow. Yes. It's on a schedule, which is something to define a lot easier in GitLab. It has a workflow dispatch, which means so I can actually press a run button. Why do you need to define that I want to do a run button? Sorry. And then you have jobs, and from this point on, it's mostly okay. It has a build, and you have to define a runner. Okay. And then you have steps, and here you have to, for each step, you have to give a name on GitHub or GitLab. All you have to do is a list of commands you want to run, and that's it. But yeah, it really doesn't matter which one it is. To me, I can do both. This one just irks me a bit, and that's it. This is for something I made for Ubuntu Mate, and I haven't worked on this in a while. I need to work on this. So, any other questions, let me know. And in the meantime, I'm gonna deal with something off camera. Please send all your questions. They will be highly appreciated. Back on camera and with the microphone, and we have another question from Marina. So the question is, do you have some beginner video about CI/CD? No, I don't think so, and that's a shame. I should probably have one, or a whole series, probably. Currently, for the summer, which currently it is, I have a plan of making a video series about containers and about dummy guide to containers and Kubernetes and all that is around containers. But I should probably make a video too about CI/CD as well. That's not a bad idea, Marina. So currently, no. Hopefully, in future, yes. I'm gonna note it right away when I find the thing I note things on, which is currently on my desk, being a camera. aka my phone. Uh, if I have a timeline, 2022. That's the best time. Like, I hope I get to write the scripts when I have some time off, which should come during the summer. And I'm gonna hopefully write the script since it's gonna be a properly produced series. I'm gonna put time in it, make it properly made. So hopefully by the end of the year, it will get properly produced by me, edited by me, and uploaded in a timely manner. Just so everyone, I have some experience with proper video production, so I should be able to do it. Soon TM, yes. Goal is before the end of the year. During later on in the summer, I'm gonna hopefully write the whole set of scripts, and then I'm gonna record it properly. Now that I have this microphone, I can do that. Make a proper recordings of proper sound. But if you're interested in videos, I recently uploaded a video on my home lab, specifically on what operating system I use for my home lab server. You can check the video out in the link I just posted in chat. It's a 6-minute long monologue about why I use Ubuntu as a server OS and what I used in past and why I use that and why I will never use RPM base most likely. Might change in the future. I don't like whatever the SE Linux. That's the main reason. And I don't like if you don't have proper security updates. That's why I like Ubuntu. It has security updates. But if you want to know more about it, check out the video. You're gonna learn so much, and you're gonna hate my face by the end of it because it's always huge for the whole video. It ain't fun. So, and I can actually spoil my next video. It's actually just me talking about my home lab, how it's built, what I'm using, some services I use, but it's in writing stage still, so yes, it's gonna take a while. This one was produced in, I believe, 2 weeks, which is a record for me, let's be honest. I, I was I know proper production, that takes way too much time. Any other questions? I can talk about anything really. Like, even if you have any questions about rocketry, I can answer those. I don't see any other questions coming, and since we're an hour and 5 minutes into the stream. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes to see if there any questions pop up. If not, then we're gonna end this stream for today. Come on, get your questions in, so you get to watch and listen to me longer. I don't know why I do that, since it's my face and my voice. You know, when they say you have a face for radio, I have a face for radio and a voice for a mute film. So yeah, not exactly the best combination for someone who does streams and videos. Yeah, when's next stream? Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, or maybe even, but absolutely Saturday night, Sunday morning, in this time frame. Currently it's Sunday morning for me, but in the UTC time, around midnight between Saturday and Sunday, somewhere around there. That's gonna be my new stream. At worst, possibly around this time tomorrow, if I get myself to do it, and I get a proper plan of what I'm gonna to do, what I'm gonna write, and all that. Yeah. So I guess at this point, probably not. Yeah, I actually miss your streams, Eric. I don't I don't watch them that much since they're kind of late, but I like popping in them for a bit and saying hi. It's always fun. So I don't think there'll be any more questions, and if there are, I'm happy to answer them. But at this point, I'm gonna say thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like. Yeah, right here, or maybe over a bit over there. Subscribe, which is definitely here, and comment, which is down there somewhere. And if you want to see when I go live next or when I upload a video, click the notification bell, which is also down here below me. And since there is no new questions, see you next time. Goodbye. Don't forget, right tool for right job. You didn't and you didn't hear that on this stream enough, so I had to tell it once more. Thank you guys for watching. Uh, Great screen time.